Hola, Timothy Phoenix here, and welcome to my blog, which is all about rising from the flames of adversity to create your dream life using the law of attraction. Today, I've got a very special guest for me for an interview. We've been to get this going for a long time. It's actually been my housemate here for a while, no longer unfortunately, but he's still hanging around on the island of Koh Samui, where we're filming from. And it's also his expert camera that we're filming from. So yeah, without further ado, it's time for Andrae Love.
Hey guys.
You're not saying anything about the intro then?
I thought, well, okay, yeah, he came up with the corny introduction. But yeah, I am Andrae Love. Thank you for having me, Timothy Phoenix.
Okay, today we're going to have a chat about, well, we're going to talk about Andrae. We're going to talk about, obviously, the law of attraction, which is what I do on my blog, manifesting, personal transformation as well. Something this guy knows a bit about, I'd say. So, and we might touch on something a bit more spiritual as well, seeing as that seems to be a path that I'm going down of late. So let's start by, if you could just introduce yourself to the people here and tell them what you're doing on the island of Koh Samui.
Well, my name, as you already know, is Andrae Love, and I am 33 years old. I'm also from Nottingham, the same area as Tim. And we only just met here on the island. The window of opportunity that was presented to me to come to Koh Samui was to be a videographer and photographer for a yoga teacher / personal development coach. And that ran for 3 months, and now I am just on the island here just doing my own thing.
And let's talk a bit more about kind of the coincidences in our lives and kind of how we got here, because people seem to find that quite interesting. So let's talk about that. As Andrae says, we're both from the same city in the UK. We're both roughly the same age. We actually both went to the same primary school, although we didn't know it at the time. And our journeys have kind of gone like this, totally apart and joined up again. And you kind of, we both got the same background as well, parental background, fathers, Jamaican fathers and English mothers, and hence the skin tone. And with, as I say, we've gone around this pathway like this, and you kind of found this journey, or we're going to call it a spiritual journey just for the sake of it. It's the easiest thing to say, I think. Early on, when you were a teenager, I guess. I've only just come across this path the last couple of years and seen these transformations in my life, whereas for Andrae it's been a longer period. So I'd like you to talk a bit about that, if you can. What exactly transpired in your life?
Growing up as a child, I was raised as a Christian. I got really deep into it, where I became one of the church boys in the robes, and I would light the candles in the church and present the bread and wine, go to Sunday school, that kind of thing. When I got into secondary school, I got into Islam. Most of my friends are Muslim back in school. Started learning more about that, and even wanted to convert at one point.
Oh, I didn't even know that. You never said that.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't know this.
Yeah.
Right.
My mother declined. Moving forward a bit more, I got very deep within martial arts and started practicing meditation and learning about Buddhism and Zennism. And then when I was 14, I met my father, who was a Rastafarian, giving guidance from a Hindu guru also. And so I had this influence upon my journey. By the time I was 16, finished school and go through a huge transition, I also chose to leave religion alone and follow my heart instead. But also I couldn't do that completely either because of conditioning and trauma. And rolling more forward, I came across ayahuasca, and ayahuasca changed my life. This was 4 years ago, and since my first ceremony, I've been diving deeper into shamanism. I'm a shamanic apprentice, and just diving deep into different ways to peace and to connectedness, whether that be through shamanic plant medicine work or through yoga or through meditation. It's been a very different journey, and one that I could not comprehend.
So you mentioned conditioning and trauma there. Can you elaborate a little bit more on that?
Yeah, so trauma, I believe, begins when we are born, when we come out of the mother's womb. And personally for myself, my first memory of my parents was my father beating my mother up, and I used to have nightmares of one scenario that repeated time and time again. Also, I was raised in the same area as you, so it was a very racist area, and got a lot of attacks from kids and even adults in the neighborhood. I was bullied through school, and there was issues that I had with my mother, and I didn't know my father from the age of 3, so that made me question about my self-worth and being good enough. And there was a lot of things that just happened that just made me, or what I calculated not being good enough, and it just affected different areas in my life, and so it had me create certain ways of being and putting on an armor in the way that I conduct myself in the world.
And in terms of as you got a bit older, what was it exactly that was there like a trigger point or something that happened that made you get onto this more spiritual pathway?
I suppose I've always like known that I've had a good heart, and that there's something more than this existence that we can receive. And I mean, I suppose going through these different walks of path in religion has helped me along this path. And I think also meeting certain people that have helped me elevate myself has been something that has really kept me grounded, I suppose. But I mean, I went through this whole transition when I was 16, where I cut off all my hair, I finished school, I started a job, I started smoking weed and drinking alcohol and having a bit more freedom to do what I wanted to do. And and I suppose it wasn't really till I got into yoga that I started hearing different ways of thinking, and how people were living more holistically, more healthy, and that also influenced me bit by bit. You know, I took on what resonated with me, and then it wasn't till really that I was meant to go for my first ayahuasca retreat that I couldn't go to, and instead I did a meditation smoking weed, which is not the two that I've ever combined before, and that was my first ever psychedelic experience. And I really felt that Spirit was talking to me and guiding me on what I needed to do, and from there it just kind of progressed and moved up from there. Yeah.
Do you want to talk about the ayahuasca?
Sure. So,
Let's
so 5 months moving forward from this meditation I did with the weed, I had a 3-month period of very deep depression, and basically the only time I got out of bed was to use the bathroom. I was so at a loss of myself, and there was just so much darkness going on, just clouding me with my thoughts and my feelings, and just I was pretty much giving up. And I was given this gift of going for an ayahuasca retreat, and my friend thought it was the only thing that was going to save me, and me too. It was the only thing I was looking forward to, really. And so when I went, I knew it was something that I needed. It was a very deep calling, and sure enough, it was beyond what I needed. It was everything. It was everything I was looking for my whole life, because though I've been through all these different religions, I can now say that I was missing for the spiritual experience of these religions. I never got that. And from a kid, I knew that certain dreams that I had meant something special to me, and I didn't know what. I can now say that they were sacred. And so, you know, ayahuasca contains DMT, which is a chemical compound that we naturally produce from our pineal gland, and it's the reason why we come into dream state. And so the ayahuasca puts you into this dream state, and also brings you on a journey, and gives you an experience, a spiritual experience, and helps guide you. She provides you with many tools, and can provide you with your truth, you know, of who you are, the true essence of who you are. And she really just, she brought me to a lot of realizations about my place on this earth, why I'm here as Andrae, why I chose the experiences that I've been through and that I'm going through, why I've chosen the people in my life, and showed me different past lives and what they all meant and how they influence my life now. Brought me to people that are here or deceased, and to have a bigger perspective of who they are, what they've been through, and again why I chose them, and what these relationships have meant or mean. And so I've done a lot of healing work within relationships that I do have now, and even with those that are deceased, like my father. And I didn't know to that point that I had a lot of resentment towards him. And since this ayahuasca experience, me and my father have a great relationship now. Sometimes he taps in and I'm now able to like show people his photos and say, yeah, this is my dad, whereas before I didn't want to know. And just so many things about my purpose and what I need to do and how I need to take care of myself and just be a contribution to the planet, really. There's so much that ayahuasca has shown me and provided me with. I could be here all day, but really just a lot of healing and just stripping away all that is unnecessary for my life and really bringing me more closer to who I truly am. And you know, I would love for everybody to have this kind of experience just so they can really get the healing that they need and just be at peace with everyone and everything.
What would you say to someone who, because I've met loads of people since I've been here, who are thinking about doing it, they're interested in doing it, me included. So you're speaking to me here as well. I know what your answer is, but this is for these people out there. For someone who might be interested in doing it, what would you say to them?
I would say, if you really feel that it's a deep calling for you, then the universe will conspire to make that happen. It's not something that can be forced. And really just set your intention as to why you want to experience this sacred medicine. Ayahuasca is a representation of Mother Earth, so she is the Mother Spirit, and she will treat you as your child as such. And so it has to be held with the utmost respect, as you would perhaps respect someone who is your mother or your father or someone who's an elder that you respect. And when you're given the diet requirements, please stick to it, because if you do, you're going to reap the most benefits from the medicine. And a lot of people that I've come across that know about ayahuasca but unsure or don't want to do the medicine, they say that they're scared. They're scared of doing it, or they're scared of, they don't know what's going to happen. But
yeah,
really,
that's me.
They really, they do put something already there. They say this, they fear the unknown, but they have an idea of what the unknown is. And really, all I can say is, because I had fear myself, and my fear was death, and ayahuasca was able to put me beyond that. I was able to go through death and be reborn and have a bigger perspective of what death is, and really it's a beautiful experience. Obviously, depending on how people go through death, it can be very traumatic and hard and painful. But outside of the physical, the experience is amazing. And I'll say to those that are scared, you're not scared of the medicine, you're just scared of yourself, of your true self. And ayahuasca just lifts the veil of what we've been blind to, because, you know, our pineal gland gets calcified, and if this third eye was unlocked, you know, we'll be connected to so many things, but we're conditioned not to. But once you allow it to be open, then you get beyond your limitations. And really, it's just healing work. It's just healing. And if and when you do go through the experience, you're going to be so grateful. A lot of people I know that have experienced the medicine are completely different people. They've transformed their life so much for, I say, the better, in the sense that they're doing and being more and more what they want and who they are. So do not fear yourself. Just elevate yourself.
Talk a lot. What you've been saying when you've been talking about your experience with ayahuasca is choosing to have an experience, choosing certain people. Can you explain more about what you mean by that? Because I think a lot of people might not understand.
From a human perspective, it would be hard to comprehend that, because there have been people that have presented me with the argument of, well, nobody chooses to have cancer, or nobody chooses to be raped, and nobody chooses all these horrific things that happen to people. And I'm not one to say, I'm not going to say to someone who's been raped, like, oh, you chose to be raped, because that's very, that's a very tough thing for someone to go through that experience, and I don't wish that upon anyone. Just to clarify that. But for myself, I got to see from my soul's perspective before I came into this body that is named Andrae. I got to see who I wanted to be, somebody's son, my mother, my father. I got to see my mother's soul, and I got to see that I wanted to love her, and so I chose to incarnate as her son and to love her, because my mother, in her course in life, has been very challenging when it comes to love. And so from my higher self, I wanted to come in and just give her love. And from that perspective, I was able to work a lot better in terms of our relationship, because of the challenges that we've had since I was a child. And getting a better acknowledgement about her and her life, and the patterns that run her, and the triggers that she has, and how she reacts to certain things. I'm now able to be more patient, whereas before I used to be very judgmental of her, because I thought, well, she's my mother, she's an elder, she should do things a lot better and not do certain things. And having that acknowledgement, I'm able to be more patient with her and have a better acknowledgement about her and about our relationship. And I'm not no angel, but at the same time, just being in that place of loving, really, and that is toward myself too, to be loving toward myself. But yeah, just like as I said before, the bullying and everything, and I chose to go through that experience for my learning. I chose to be born in Nottingham, even though I hated it most of my life. I chose to be born there for my learning. And all the people that have been on my life, it's all been about learning. It's all been about my experience. And I believe that we go through things for experience and for our learning to make us stronger. And there's the perspective that universal consciousness has expanded and separated itself to know thyself, and so we're all these intricate beings that have come into this third dimension to see things as separate. And I'm Andre, you're Tim, that's the camera. These things are separate, but really within this duality we're all one. And that's what was shown for me in my first ayahuasca.
Let's talk about the law of attraction. Where does that? Well, what's your idea of what it is, and where does it fit into what we've been talking about?
I've read and watched The Secret, and I've listened to people like Abraham Hicks and Bob Proctor and Teal Swan. And for me personally, I feel that Teal Swan breaks it down a lot better than anyone else, because there's this fixed ideology of what the law of attraction is, and about constantly being positive, having a positive mindset and having a positive attitude, positive behavior, and everything has to be positive. And life happens, we can't always be positive. We can have a positive way of thinking about certain things, but to be 100% positive, I think, is just a lie. And I feel Teal Swan breaks it down a lot better than anyone else, personally. I mean, when I really started getting into this law of attraction, I did, get sucked into this positive mindset, and it was getting me nowhere, to be honest. No. Because even though I was like having a positive expression, in the back of my mind, or there's that ego that'll say, oh, that's not going to happen, this is not going to happen, blah blah blah. I still didn't gain any outcome that I was wanting. So I set all these goals, and like, I want to do this, I want to do by then, and I'm working on it, and a lot of things are just not happening. And so I kind of like gave up on that. My best friend, Mark, he had this moldavite ring, and
Wait. You got to explain what moldavite ring is.
So, moldavite is a type of tektite from an asteroid that crashed onto the Earth, Czechoslovakia to be exact. And it's a sacred crystal.
We're gonna have to show it.
Okay. And it's aligned with the heart chakra, so it's great for grounding, and it's an enhancer as well. And so when Mark gave me this ring, he told me that he was just manifesting things left, right and center, and he wanted to pass it on to me because he felt I could do with the enhancement. So as soon as I got the ring, I would just think, oh, I want this, and without doing anything, the opportunity or the thing would just come in front of me.
Well, you got to explain a bit more than that.
Okay.
It didn't just come in front of you.
I remember saying one day, "Oh, I want to get a double bed for my new place." And then the following day, it was there in someone's front garden that they were letting go of. So I was able to take it home, and that night I slept on it and realized that half of the mattress was broken. So I just said, okay, I want a bigger bed that has a frame. And the following day, there was a queen size bed in someone's garden, and it had a metal frame, and the mattress, it was to help people with back issues, which I do. I suffer with kyphosis and chronic back pain. And so it just came up like that, and then just like
hang on, wait. Just in someone's back garden?
No, in someone's front garden, just a couple of houses down the road from me. And so I was just able to take that and swap the double bed for the queen bed. And just so many other different things where I would just be like, oh, I want this, oh, I want that, and it would just come onto my path without me doing anything.
Let's talk about what's happened lately then with this. So first of all, as you know, with my videos, I've been trying to consciously use the law of attraction to manifest on a daily basis, on a more regular basis. And if you've been following the blog, you know pretty much all of it's been coming true, usually within 24 hours. And I heard from Andrae about this moldavite, which for some reason he hadn't mentioned for ages. I don't know why, but I thought, okay, I've got to have me some of this. I've got to get me some of this action. So I went and bought a moldavite ring just on Etsy. Didn't cost much, and I've been wearing it for about a month now or so, not that long. And you have also decided to get back in the game with your, if you just show the camera, your ring.
It's a new one.
And let's talk about that. Have you noticed any differences?
First of all, I feel like I'm in a hip-hop video showing off my bling. It's not really what I do, but...
No, and can I just add in as well, this is the first piece of jewellery I've ever bought, apart from a pendant that I've just started wearing recently. I haven't got it on now, but this is the first ring I've ever bought. So I'm not a jewellery person, I'm not a crystal person either, but I'm interested in it.
You are now.
I am now, yeah. But I'm very intrigued. I'm on this spiritual path, and I've been learning more about things such as spirit guides and crystals, and it's stuff that I would have sneered at and laughed at in the past, and I'm just interested in it. I'm interested in learning about it because I trust people like Andrae, who've come into my life recently. They're totally normal, sane people who are talking about this stuff, so that gets me interested, you know. So I want to experience it myself rather than pass judgment as I would have done in the past and just automatically write it off. And well, first of all, I'd like to hear your experiences since you've had the ring on.
Since I've had the ring on,
well, actually, let's take it back a little bit.
Sure.
Have you been manifesting stuff without the ring in recent times? I know you had a vision board, so maybe that's a good place to start.
Well, law of attraction is basically like an energy anyway. So we're constantly attracting things in our life, depending on where we are on an energetic level. So yes, I have been attracting many different things before the ring, like coming to Koh Samui. And where I'm at with myself right now is...
Hang on, wait. You can't just skip over it like that. You say you attracted Koh Samui. How did that happen? And how do you know you attracted it?
Okay. So, there's a yoga teacher that I knew from him teaching at Yoga Connects, which was a yoga festival that I was a videographer and photographer for. I also designed their logo, etc. And he hired me last summer for a photo shoot in London, and as we're hanging out shooting, we're having a conversation, and I'm telling him about the life that I want to live, and he's telling me what he's doing and the project that he's got set up for the following year, and asked me if I would like to be a part of it. So I was like, yeah, sure. And thinking at the back of my mind, I don't know how I'm going to be able to afford coming to Koh Samui, but I was like, okay, let's just see how things go. And financially, I wasn't in a great place, and for the past 2 years in London, it was very challenging, and last year was just very stagnant. I just felt that things weren't moving forward. I'm trying different things, and things just not shifting. So coming to this year, one of my friends, so grateful, she gifted me with my ticket to come here, and yeah, I've attracted so many beautiful beings in my life that just want to help me on my life, and who are a huge part of my life. So the opportunity with this yoga teacher lasted for 3 months, and now we're in the 4th month, and yeah, I'm just doing my own thing, and I'm still discovering more about myself and having a good time here. So as I was going to say before, where I'm at with myself right now is that I do my best on working on not being attached to any outcome. I still have my goals, and there's still things that I would like to achieve and attain, but I'm not attached. And this year, from the beginning of this year, I've allowed myself to just let go and trust the universe, which has been a spiritual message for me to do so for the past couple of years, which has been very challenging, partially I think because I'm a Taurus, so I'm an earthly sign, and I like stability and security, etc., etc. And so for some reason this year I was like, okay, I let go, and doing that, so many things have happened, like coming to Koh Samui, not having the financial backup to do it myself, and who I meet and the experiences that I'm experiencing, and how money has been coming in. I've been teaching yoga, I've been giving mini shamanic ceremonies and being paid for it, and just how different places for me to live in have come up, and yeah, and it's just been amazing.
I guess you're saying that you're kind of in the flow, right?
Just in the flow,
because
and
you've just surrendered.
Yeah, just surrendered and just allowing things to be, and not being caught up in things need to be a certain way, because we have no control. The only control that we do have is how we choose to respond or choose how to react in life, and what we say and what actions we take. That's the only thing that we can control, really. And so just being in the flow and just allowing things to happen as they are meant to be, and realizing that there is something bigger, or there is something outside of myself, or maybe perhaps, like I said, we choose experiences and people in our life. I've probably already signed up for what is already going to happen, and I just have to get on the boat and let the tide take me to wherever I'm meant to be. But working with the moldavite, I did, yes, create a vision board, and on the vision board was to get the moldavite. Then I got the moldavite. With this ring, I did manifest a kiss with this beautiful woman. Yeah, it was absolutely magical. And usually, like, I've been very to myself, and just going with what resonates, and what doesn't resonate I don't pursue, of course. And meeting this girl, there was just something about her, and got her to know her a little bit, and I was just like, okay, I want to manifest a romantic kiss with her, and it happened. So,
what happened to the old moldavite ring, by the way?
So
this is a new one. So there was the old one. Where's that?
So the old one, I had it for a few months, and I just had this. I felt like the ring or the stone was talking to me to pass it on to a housemate, and so I did. I passed it on to her, and I hope she's making full use of it.
I can tell you that I'm not going to go into my own experiences because this is about Andrae, this video, but I will be doing a video about my experiences with this, and I can tell you I've definitely had some big changes and stuff happening. And it's supposed to be, I've read this stuff recently online, so I'm no expert or anything, but I've read that this is supposed to be the most powerful crystal or tektite, whatever it is, that you can get, and it's used for big transformations in your life. And I can tell you that I've noticed significant changes starting to happen within me, and also with people's reactions towards me. And
give one example for my video.
Okay. The biggest thing that I can say is that people have been reacting differently towards me, and very noticeable that some people who I'd see quite a few times around here didn't really speak to me much, didn't say much to me, have all of a sudden just started being very cheery and like saying hello without me saying it first. Usually I'd have to say it first to a few people, but they've been coming up to me. Very unusual. I've noticed it with a handful of people. Also with strangers that I've met, I've noticed that I guess particularly women, and I don't want to say that being big-headed because I don't mean it in that way, just that there are a lot more women around here, but it's a yoga retreat that we're hanging around in, so it's like 80% women, I would say. Yes. But I've noticed their reactions more, and they seem to be, what's the word I can use, touching me more. Okay. It's like on the arm usually. That wasn't happening before, but it's happening like constantly now. And also they just seem to be, I don't know, there's a change there, a definite shift. And I'd say in general people just seem to be more drawn towards me, and friendlier with me. And it could be because of a shift within me as well. I felt more grounded since I've had this. So yeah, I'd say that's been the main change, and more stuff has been manifesting as well. I won't go into that now, but the manifestations seem to be coming quicker now. Well, not necessarily quicker, but they're bigger. So yeah, that's what I've noticed. It's only been a few weeks.
It's great, man. We've got to get in full use of it.
Yeah. And I would have said I'm not 100% sure that it's this, but from what I've read up on this, I think it is. So we'll see how it goes. We'll talk about it more in another video. But yeah, I think we're going to end the video there, I think.
Cool. Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, it's been good having you on.
Cool.
We've got a lot more adventures still to come.
I'm
sure we have, man, in Koh Samui, Thailand, Koh Phangan. So I don't think it'll be the last you'll be hearing from Andrae Love. But yeah, thanks for coming on. I mean, it's been about 3 months I've been waiting to get you on, but I think it's been good because now we've had the moldavite to talk about as well. I think this is going to be a big thing. We also know one other person who's got a moldavite ring, right?
Yes.
And hasn't she been manifesting
like crazy?
So there you go. There's something
Brooke.
to this. Yeah, Brooke, who I've done a video on already, you can check that out, talking about her amazing manifestations she's been having before she got this. So hopefully we'll be able to do something with her at some point, talking about the manifestation with this. But you know, if I didn't believe in crystals and that kind of power and energy before, I'm starting to believe it now. So, you know, this is coming from someone who was very not on this path at all, just a year ago even. So, you know, there's something to all this. So listen to what this guy's saying.
Don't.
But we'll leave it at that now. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, timothyphoenix.com, that's my blog. Timothy.phoenix Instagram. Your Instagram?
I am Andrae Love. That's an A between the R and the E, so it's not A-N-D-R-E, it's A-N-D-R-A-E.
Don't make that mistake. Too many people calling the wrong name. Andrea, it's not Andrea Love, it's Andrae Love. And yeah, thanks for watching. Don't forget to share it with anyone you think might benefit from it. And please comment, because I really want to hear from you, really want to connect. It's all about connections and the opportunities which they bring. And thanks for watching. Till next time, hasta luego.
Thank you.